What's up guys, Steve here. So for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the newest trailer of Invincible, of like the fourth season of Invincible. Specifically, we get a few glimpses of Thragg, of course, presumably a flashback of um Lord Argo's funeral, of course, and the start of the Great Purge, of course, which is big news, of course, since because in the comics, they don't really explain like how the Great Purge is start how the Great Purge started in the first place, and generally the comic there's a lot of like questions, of course, that that aren't really answered, of course, that being like the Great Purge, how like Nolan is like well, we know that Nolan's related to Lord Argo, but we don't really know like how is he like conceived, of course, because I have a theory that Lord Argo probably did have a successor, of course, or not, oh yeah, an heir to the throne, of course, but but for some reason, of course, Lord Argo's probably first. Actually, I don't think first child was either like probably hidden away. Yeah, either hidden away or some Viltrumites probably like secretly, I don't know, had access to like Lord Argo's DNA, of course, and used that to create Nolan. But that's just a theory, of course. That was pretty much. But yeah, like generally seeing Thragg in action is like straight up awesome, low key. Like everyone was like straight up like hyping up like Thragg's appearance, of course, into the show was first was like the introduction of who's gonna be voicing him. I forgot his name. I forgot the guy's his name, but but I do know he does play the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, the blue guy. I'll probably pull up a photo, of course, to show who I'm who I'm referencing. So yeah, which at first many people, of course, were like hyped about it, or yeah, generally the reactions were like very mixed. That being, some people were very like were glad to see that a someone that when voicing Thragg, of course, who perfectly fits him, while others, of course, not so much. Cause like most people were expecting the voice actor for Thor in God of War Ragnarok to voice him instead. Since the author of Invincible is the same guy who created The Walking the Dead, and he's well known for pretty much casting like, I don't know, casting the actors from Walking the Dead, from like The Walking Dead into like Invincible, of course. And The Walking Dead actually does have, or the show specifically has a Invincible reference, that in the form of like little figurines, as well as like one of the characters like reading an Invincible comic, of course. But either way, we're finally gonna learn, of course, or learn like Thragg's motivations of like what led him to like to start the Great Purge, and also seeing like what was like rule like, or like what was like Viltrumite rule like under like Thragg's leadership, because we know he's not like the emperor of the Viltrumite. He's the Grand Regent, essentially. He's pretty much like the second guy in charge, of course. If like if something happened to like to the ruler, of course, he's the pretty much the one who steps in. So yeah. Anyways, that's a wrap up today's video. So yeah. Bye bye.